Coming up on CitrusTV News at 7, parking meters could be going offline for credit cards.
How long you may need to be carrying spare change around.
Plus, why the government is investigating energy drinks.
Find out if these conditions will continue. CitrusTV News starts right now.
Drivers may need to carry around some extra change starting tomorrow.
Some parking meters may be going offline for credit cards.
It's a possible side effect of a plan to replace all 270 of Syracuse's meters. Hello and welcome to CitrusTV News Live at 7. I'm Amy Littman.
And I'm Steph Machado here on campus. Coming up with a little spare change could cause a big problem. That's our top story tonight.
The meters on Marshall Street still have their wireless data connection for now, but it may be just a matter of time until they lose it. Amanda Harry was down on Marshall Street earlier today. She joins us in the studio now.
Thank you, Amy. And people aren't too happy about it. If you want to drive to the shops and restaurants on Marshall Street, you pretty much have to park in a metered spot. But as hard as finding a spot is, paying for one after you find it just got a lot harder. Multi-space electronic parking meters on Marshall Street may no longer accept credit cards. The supplier of Syracuse's electronic meters, Parkon Inc., told the city earlier this year that their data provider, Velocita Wireless, will be shutting down its networks in Syracuse.
Oh, okay. That's all right. I'm okay with that. But if it happens for longer than 2 weeks, then I'm going to be outraged. You'll see me out here with a sign saying, let me use my credit card, all right?
Starting tomorrow, all the Velocita meters may go offline. Eventually, they all will. The new meters will read credit cards, but in the meantime, the old meters will only accept coins.
I think it's a big problem because a lot of students don't carry change or even cash for that matter. I always use a credit card whenever I grab a bite to eat on Marshall, so it's going to be a serious issue for students who are trying to park on Marshall.
The city says it will notify people if an outage occurs, but motorists will either have to make adjustments or take a risk.
I'd probably be stuck quite a few times without being able to park, so I'll just have to keep changing my car, I guess. I don't usually have it, and it's going to be more difficult.
I mean, I got change here, you know what I'm saying, but that's not right. Okay.
The city has solicited bids to replace the meters. 5 bids were received and 3 of the bids are currently being reviewed. The entire replacement process is expected to take about 3 years.
So Amanda, what are the other parking alternatives?
If you want to use your credit card, you can park in the South Krause Garage. And you can also, if you don't want to pay at all, go to the not metered streets outside of Marshall.
Okay, thank you, Amanda. It's been just 2 weeks since investigators closed the child molestation case on former SU assistant basketball coach Bernie Fine. Now, Syracuse Police Chief Frank Fowler says 3 of the men that accused Fine were highly credible. Fine was fired by SU just over a year ago after the police launched their investigation into him for allegedly molesting team ball boys. Fowler and Deputy Chief Sean Broughton believe that based on their detectives' work, the accusations that all 3 men made were true. If they had not been outside of the statute of limitations, Fine would have been arrested.
Students in the class of 2014 can start making suggestions for their commencement speaker. Anyone can vote online at suspeaker.syr.edu. From there, a selection committee will make the final decision. The class of 2013 will find out who their speaker is this spring. TV producer Aaron Sorkin spoke last year. The debate on hydrofracking hits home tonight. Activists on both sides of the issue visit Maxwell Auditorium. Professors and environmentalists are coming here from all over central New York. They will argue their respective sides of the controversial issue. At the end of the night, the audience will vote for which side they find more persuasive by walking out of one of the auditorium's 2 doors.
The Cuomo administration is still weighing the pros and cons of printing driver's licenses in black and white. A Canadian company has been given a tentative contract to produce the black and white IDs. Governor Cuomo says the change will better protect people from identity theft. But there is a dispute over why a Canadian company was chosen over others. It was more expensive and lower quality. The students we talked to said they don't have a problem with the possible change.
I think it probably would be beneficial because I think a photograph is a photograph. If it's like a clear enough photograph, it doesn't really matter if it's in black and white or color. And I think if you can save the state a lot of money and then use that money in a good place somewhere else would be a good idea.
As long as you keep a hologram on the ID, I don't think it'd be a problem at all. Black and white, it keeps it simple, so no, it should be good. I mean, you got your eye color, your weight, all that stuff should be listed on an ID, so it shouldn't be hard at all.
The DMV's contract with the current license provider expires in May.
Some energy drinks may provide hours of energy now, but could they cause death later in life? The FDA has launched an investigation into the popular energy supplement, 5-Hour Energy. They have received reports that 13 people died after drinking the beverage shot. The investigation comes out 1 month after the FDA took a look at Monster energy drinks for involvement in 5 deaths. Students say the drinks only get dangerous when they're consumed in excess.
I think it's more like if you drink a lot of them at once. I mean, one of them, I really don't think it's going to do that much to you. The only thing the FDA can do, like, if they don't read it, then it's not their fault. At least they put it on there, so.
I mean, I felt good after it. Obviously, you feel a little energetic, but I try to stay away from them just because they are pretty unhealthy. And people, whether or not they want to buy it, that's their decision. If the FDA does find, something like really, really bad about energy drinks that might lead to, certain like diseases or something like that, then sure, I could see banning it.
The New York State Attorney General is investigating the Monster, Pepsi, and Living Essentials companies. And a new study out today finds drinking 1 can of soda per day can increase a man's chances of getting prostate cancer by 40%. The study tracked more than 8,000 men over 15 years. It also found an increased risk for prostate cancer in connection with sugary cereal, pasta, and rice.
Here's an unwelcome early holiday gift: the flu, which has made a landing in Syracuse much earlier than usual. There are already 196 confirmed cases in Onondaga County compared to 0 last year at this time. Health officials say it's time to get a flu shot. SU doesn't have any flu shot clinics currently scheduled. Students can get a flu shot on campus by appointment at health services. The next nearest locations to get a flu shot near the Hill are the Rite Aid pharmacies on East Genesee and East Adams Streets. Coming up next on Citrus TV News, a freight train derailed in southern New Jersey.
But it's what happened after the crash that's put a town on lockdown.
It felt a lot like winter this week here in central New York. Temperatures were in the low 30s with high winds and snow flurries. Will we have to endure this weather over the weekend? Find out during your full weather forecast when Citrus TV News returns.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
My dad's one of the producers here. During this week.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. Check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
We take a look around the nation now, starting in southern New Jersey.
That's where a railway bridge collapse has turned into a desperate situation.
The collapse caused a freight train to derail and leak hazardous vinyl chloride into the Menuda Creek, which empties into the Delaware River.
Students in nearby schools were placed on lockdown and authorities ordered evacuations for some areas around the accident.
So far, 18 people have been sent to the hospital with respiratory issues.
This is the second time the bridge has collapsed in 3 years.
The Supreme Court started talks today on whether to take up same-sex marriage. Voters in 3 more states passed same-sex marriage on Election Day, bringing the total states to 9 plus the District of Columbia. If the Supreme Court does not take up the case, it may just decide whether legally married couples in those states are eligible for federal benefits that are given to opposite-sex couples.
As many as 3 people are dead from a shooting that occurred at Casper Community College in Wyoming this morning. Police don't think the shot came from a gun, but instead a bow and arrow type weapon. A lockdown on the school has been lifted. The details of the attack and the shooter's motives are still under investigation.
More than 100,000 protesters are taking to the streets in Egypt, vowing to stop a new draft constitution. The draft was approved last night, but without the participation of liberal and Christian minority groups. The assembly rushed through the process, working for more than 16 hours to try to pass it before a court ruling could dissolve their assembly. The constitution would put in place restrictions on freedom of speech and women's rights.
The United Nations now recognizes Palestine as an observer state. More than 2/3 of the member states approved the resolution upgrading Palestine's status from an observer entity to an observer state. It passed with 138 votes in favor, 9 against, and 41 abstentions. The U.S. and Israel both oppose Palestinian statehood. The sun keeps setting earlier and earlier. We're getting closer and closer to winter.
Rachel Wolski joins us next to tell us if snow is in our forecast this weekend. Don't go away.
We are different. Society should aspire to be more like us.
Be part of the first class. Get energized. Get outside.
Hold on, guys. It's gonna get bumpy.
And get moving. Experience the power of physical activity. Join the movement at ActionHeroAlliance.com.
$7,000 high school students drop out every school day. That's a line of desks more than 4 miles long. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step.
Hi, my name's CJ. A few years ago, my father became seriously ill. I did what I could do before he passed, but it took its toll. I lost my job, my house. I'm getting back on my feet, but I don't know when there'll be food on the table. How'd I do, CJ?
We could be twins.
Well, cousins, maybe.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Today was not the nicest day we've had on campus.
No, perhaps a brisk reminder that our snowless days in Syracuse are numbered.
Meteorologists say to expect a snowy, blustery winter, at least 120 inches of snow.
That's 2.5 times last winter's total. We only got 50 inches of snow last winter, one of the warmest and driest in history.
Yeah, today it's about currently 29 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Winds are around 8 miles an hour, which is adding a little bit of a chill to the air, making it feel about 21 degrees, excuse me, sorry about that. If we take a look at our current temperatures, we see that temperatures are in the high 20s, which has made it feel a lot like winter this week rather than fall. So make sure you keep yourself bundled up over the weekend. If we take a look at our current surface map, we see a high pressure system swept over our area earlier, which has brought some lower temperatures and some dry air, which has made it a little bit uncomfortable. If we take a look at our current dew points, our area is experiencing some dry weather right now. This has been making weather more uncomfortable than it has in the past weeks and causing some dry skin and chapped lips, so make sure you have your chapstick on you this week. And if we take a look at our Doppler radar, we see that there's no precipitation in our area currently, but there's a small cluster of snow by Onondaga Lake, which might hit us over the weekend. And taking a look at our 5-day forecast, we're going to see some precipitation over the weekend. It's going to snow tomorrow, but warm up to rain on Sunday. It's supposed to clear up for Monday and Tuesday, but we'll see a wintry mix on Wednesday. Temperatures are going to be a little warmer next week with highs in the mid-50s and lows in the 30s.
Thank you, Rachel. Americans are still feeling the effects of last month's Hurricane Sandy. The latest victim, the economy. The storm slowed consumer spending in October, causing work interruptions, road blockages, and millions of dollars in damages. The upcoming fiscal cliff also slowed spending as people try to save their money in case taxes rise sharply next year. Nonetheless, many economists predict growth for the new year.
The Eurozone set another record in the month of October, though it is not one worth celebrating. Unemployment reached 11.7% in October. That's the highest it's ever been in the 13-year history of the Eurozone. It's up 1/10 of a point from last month, which was the previous record high. Leading the way are Spain and Greece, where 1 out of every 4 people are out of work. And as local businesses prepare for the holiday season, new promotion events are underway.
CitrusTV reporter Marissa Palmer went downtown to see how they're getting ready.
Well, it's that time of the year again. Time to make your shopping list and check it twice. If you're shopping downtown for the holiday season, be sure to check out local businesses that are not only preparing, but are participating in special events to benefit the savvy shopper. Time to put up decorations, go ice skating at Clinton Square, and score some deals. Melissa Sprague, manager of Bounce Boutique, has already begun preparing.
This year we are participating in a lot of buy local events, and we've been at the holiday shops at the fairgrounds, and we're trying to do a lot of different promotions, and we're on a lot of new social media networks, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So that's how we're advertising a lot of our special sales and promotions.
The Shop Syracuse event is another promotion to be excited for.
There's the Passport event where you can go to all the different local businesses and get checked off, and you can win prizes.
More than 70 downtown local businesses are participating in the Shop Syracuse Holiday Passport. Downtown businesses from Urban Outfitters to Cafe Cubal are all a part of the promotion event. Nathan Schaefer, owner of Modern Pop Culture, looks forward to what the event will do for local businesses.
Passport event, it's for local businesses. There's a ton of local shops, independent businesses in the area that are part of it. Basically, you get the passport card, shop at 10 of the qualified or the participating stores. Each one will punch the card, and then you're entered into to get some other specials and promotions based on that. It's really nice to help kind of support the local businesses, kind of get people also familiarized with some shops that they might not actually know.
Small businesses hope the Shop Syracuse Passport event will attract more customers and consumers this year and become a staple holiday advertisement program for years to come.
Marissa, is this the first Shop Passport event?
No, they attempted to do this program last year as well, but it's not as big as local business owners are anticipating it to be this year. So a lot of consumers are excited for this event and they're ready to go downtown and start shopping.
Sounds good, thank you.
No problem.
Now we have Alex Bacon with the sports.
Thanks, guys. When we return, we'll take a look into the Syracuse men's basketball's recent success, as well as the possibility of Doug Marrone and the football team receiving a BCS bid. Drew Brees of the New Orleans Saints had his consecutive touchdown streak snapped, and the Kentucky Wildcats suffer another loss. All that and more when we return.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. You know, I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
My dad's one of the producers. He's there
Bring this week.
The Syracuse Orange men's basketball team will look to continue their undefeated season in the matchup in Arkansas versus the Razorbacks later tonight. After starting the season ranked 9th in the AP polls, the Orange have wiggled their way up to the 6th less than a month into the season. Jim Boeheim's famous 2-3 defense has been spectacular so far, allowing an average of less than 53 points per game. The Orange have seen the emergence of sophomore Michael Carter-Williams, who averages 31 minutes per game and is leading the team in assists. He is looking forward to the game tonight and doesn't think it will be too easy.
It's going to be a great test. It's going to be a good experience for me and my teammates. I think we're all ready for it. I'm really looking for it. I'm really excited for it, especially going to a away game. It's their whiteout, and the crowd's going to be great, so I'm looking forward to it.
Doug Marrone and the Syracuse Orange football team slipped their way into a tie for the Big East Championship following a Rutgers 20-17 loss to Louisville yesterday. Rutgers led 14-3 at halftime, but Louisville responded with 20 points in the second half to pull off a victory. Had Rutgers won, they would have finished with a 6-1 conference record and would stand alone as the champions in the Big East. Since they lost, though, Rutgers, Louisville, and Syracuse all finished the season with a 5-2 conference record, tying them all for the Big East Championship. The Orange haven't won a Big East title since 2004, when they were crowned Crow champions with Pittsburgh, Boston College, and West Virginia. There's a slight possibility that Orange can receive a BCS bid if they receive more votes in the BCS standings than both Louisville and Rutgers. The Kentucky Wildcats suffered their second upset of the season last night when they lost to an unranked Notre Dame team. Last year's national champions also lost earlier this season to the Duke Blue Devils, which dropped them from 3 to 8 in the AP national polls. Last night's game saw 4 different players on the Irish score over 10 points. The win improved Notre Dame's record to 7-1. Notre Dame is not a surprise team to pull off a major win. Last season, the Fighting Irish beat 5 ranked teams, and this season, they have 6 more games against currently ranked opponents, 2 of which will be against the Big East rival Louisville and once against Big East rival Syracuse. Last year, the Fighting Irish beat the #1 ranked Orange after they beat them 67-58 last January. This season has not been very friendly to the New Orleans Saints. There was the bounty scandal, and the team currently has a losing record of 5-7. And last night's game was not only a tough loss to division rival Atlanta Falcons, but Drew Brees' 55-game touchdown streak came to an end. Until last night's game, Brees threw consecutive touchdowns in 55 games, breaking Johnny Unitas' record set in 1960. He also threw 5 interceptions in last night's game to a Falcons team that has been dominating on defense. Don't forget, it picked off Peyton Manning 3 times earlier this year. Brees and the Saints are in danger of missing the playoffs for the first time since 2008.
So here's my question, Alex. We were ranked #1 in basketball last year. Why aren't we even in the top 5?
Well, Syracuse right now, they're ranked 6. They started off the season ranked 9, and they've slowly made their way up to 6. And I'd expect them to be in the top 5 within the next month or so because Boeheim really likes to make an easy schedule at the beginning of the season.
All right. Thank you, Alex.
When we come back, we'll have one last look at your weather.
Stay with us.
You know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
Hey, my name's Katie and I'm in the 9th grade. I'm an A average student and I'm an athlete working towards a scholarship. And everybody tells me how much potential I have. But I just wish someone would tell me where my next meal is coming from. Katie, how'd I do?
Do you have to be so serious?
Well, I mean, I did like a crazy dance in a movie if you want me to do a little, no.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
We are different. Society should aspire to be more like us.
Be part of the first class. Get energized. Get outside.
Hold on, guys. It's gonna get bumpy.
And get moving. Experience the power of physical activity. Join the movement at ActionHeroAlliance.com.
So Rachel, will it be snowing tomorrow morning when we wake up?
It looks like it. It's going to be pretty cold tomorrow morning and probably snowing a little bit. Not too heavy, but that's what we expect to see tomorrow morning when we wake up.
All right, break out that jacket.
And how much snow before we leave for winter break? A lot or a little?
I don't see it accumulating too much, but I definitely see it snowing in the next couple of weeks like it has been over this past week.
Okay, thank you, Rachel.
Thank you for joining us tonight on Citrus TV News.
I'm Steph Machado.
And I'm Amy Littman. This is our final Friday show of the semester, but we will have shows Monday and Wednesday.
From all of us at Citrus TV News, have a good night.